Greetings and welcome to Monster Legends. For another special feeding episode, this time we're going to be feeding a member of the Forsaken that I acquired at the recent Magic Within maze. This is LazarBeam. And LazarBeam, of course, is a legendary. He's magical. He's very spiritual, part of the good legions. He's a superhero, and very, very exclusive. Unfortunately, he has only one open ruin slot, and that deal is now gone, so yeah, probably gonna have to wait for another one, unless of course I don't. Anyway, let's find a home for him for now. He can hang out with Corruptus. Looks like he teleported to kill them. I approve. Okay, so where's our little friend here? This is a whole bunch of random characters. We'll get a good name for him. So, this is LazarBeam. He is a legendary, he is magical, and from the little emblem underneath him, you can see he is one of the Forsaken. He also has an evolving trait. Let's take a look at it. He begins with immunity to control, which is amazing. At rank 1, he also gains a status cast which will put magic weakness on the enemies, which for him is very good because, of course, he is magical. He also has a skill that can take advantage of that. If you get him to rank 3, he gains Random Element Hater, which means there's no reason to rank him above that unless you want him to be powerful. Alright, let's check out his stats. His strength is very good. His life is very good. His speed is very good. Let's face it, he's just very good. Very, very good indeed. Let's take a look at his initial skills. Magihosen deals low physical damage to one enemy, and Magic Balloon deals moderate magic damage to one enemy. And that teleporting type skill, his special one, Code Laser, applies Pierce to self, deals heavy magic damage to all enemies, applies Curse to all enemies, removes Pierce from itself. And if Pierce means, of course, it will go through anything. It will go through Taunt, it will go through Evade, it will go through anything, which means he is going to hit everyone and give them Curse, unless, of course, they resist the curse, right? They can do that. So that sounds good. LazarBeam is War Master Sherazar's champion in the Battle Royale tournament that takes place yearly as part of the War Masters Summit. He's made of the same substance as Zuron and Gelatron, but Sherazar has tweaked him, so he's the perfect attacker. And when you look at his skills, you'll probably agree with that. Alright, and of course, there's no way to get there without stuffing tomatoes into him, so let's get him to his final form here at a level 4. There we go. My, that's a very big sword you have there. He's not amused. Alright, so let's continue. Let's get some skills, starting at level 7. Knock, knock, who's there? Applies Curse to all enemies. Okay, that's useful. Alright, so let's continue. He'll come back when we start feeding him. Gingerbread Boost. Applies Random Hater status to itself. Okay, so that's a useless skill. Okay, dude, are you coming back? Thank you. Makes it easier to feed. Alright, so let's get him to 15. Baby Gingy. Deals moderate magic damage to all enemies. 0 cooldown. Alright, well, we just throw that there because after all, it is better. Alright, so let's continue to level 20. Magic Challenge. Applies magic weakness to all enemies. Gives 1 extra turn to itself. Yes, we're definitely keeping that, and we're getting rid of this useless skill. We're holding on to that for now. Alright, so let's continue to level 25. Monster Knight Master. Deals moderate magic damage to all enemies. Applies Curse to all enemies. So we're just gonna go ahead and throw that there. Because it's kind of awesome, isn't it? Especially with his strength and, of course, other stuff coming up. Remember, that's a magical attack, and he can already make everyone weak to magic and get an extra turn. So, yeah, take that damage amount with a grain of salt. Alright, so let's get him to 30. And another skill. Over 9,000. balloons. Deals very heavy magic damage to one enemy, applies bleed to one enemy. Alright, why don't we just put that there for now? Because we're only doing the curse, right? We're already doing the curse. We don't need it. Alright, so let's get to 35 for another skill. It's Raining Melons. Applies random hater status and gives one extra turn. So that's a complete waste of time. Alright, so let's continue to level 40. We should have 2 more skills left for now. It's Raining Melon. No, really, it's useless. Move on. Alright, so that's going to delay things a bit here. So let's get to 45. Gingerbread Boost. Oh, lay off of these. See, Random Hater has such a small chance of giving you something that is going to be useful that it's just a throwaway. Just pretend it doesn't exist. I mean, if it's a specific hater, that's fine. Random, yeah, I mean, a lot of them require the enemy to have a buff or a debuff, and then is it going to work out? No, it isn't. It's a silly mechanic. It really is. All right, so let's continue to level 50. Fresh left the game. Deals massive magic damage to one enemy. All right, let me think about that. Do I want to put that there? Yeah, I think so. For now. We'll take a look at it. But of course, we do have another skill to get, just not now. I think there may be one more floating in there. I don't know. We're probably going to have to go look. Let's see, because we got some duplicates. Okay, that's like the first skill that I got. I think it was. All right, so we got one more chance. We're going to 60. Then we're going to go looking. Yeah, we're going looking. I think there may have been one that we didn't get just because of all the duplicates. Let's just take a look. Here we go. Infinite Airstrikes. Deals heavy special damage to all enemies. Applies bleed to all enemies. All right, well, we're keeping this one. Let's see. Well, see, the thing about this one is it's a 0 cooldown and a 0 stamina. Yeah, I'm replacing this one. Thing is, this one is just way too useful because of the lack of a stamina cost. So I am going to put this one here. It's also the fact that this is magic too, and that's very important for him. Now I think that we got everything else. Right, this is the random hater one, the curse. We're doing that with the first attack, so we don't have to worry about that. And the first skills, and yeah, right. And then there is this one, which is important for me because, yes, I do have enough cells to rank him up. And I will be doing that as soon as the race is done. There's a race going on at the moment. So I am going to be taking this one, and this one is going to be going in for this. Because I'm not going to need this one anymore. Because once you get him to rank 1, he does the magic weakness, as a status cast. So I'm not going to need this one. So I'm going to put in Smashing Keyboards. Applies triple damage to itself. Applies magic weakness hater to itself. See, when you do haters like that, when it's useful, that's good, right? I mean, what if he got a random fire weakness hater? What good is that to him unless somebody else put it on? And you can't plan for that because it's random. But when you actually get something like this is devastating. Really, really devastating right here. Now, it's not going to give him an extra turn or give him evade or something like that. But remember, he's immune to control. So there's only a limited way you can actually stop him from attacking. So that's very, very powerful. We're just going to look at his other skills here, which I'm never going to say. Harder than a lightsaber. Deals very heavy magic damage to one enemy, applies ignite to one enemy, gives an extra turn to itself. Now that one you would probably, I don't know, it's hard. It's really hard because this one, the 0 and the 0 make it really attractive, but it's really hard to say no to this one, especially with an extra turn. You know what I mean? Really hard. Then we have, this one you get at rank 3, kill them, subscribers. Yeah, the karma makes all the difference. Removes positive status effects from all enemies, deals heavy special damage to all enemies, applies magic weakness to all enemies. Now this one you'd probably swap out this one. Taking off positive status effects before doing it is just really very useful. And this is a way of reapplying the magic weakness if the fight goes on for a while, or if the other team just removed it. All right, and then of course we have not a prank. You have to be rank 4 for this one. Removes positive status effects and disables trait on one enemy. Deals insane magic damage to one enemy. Alright, so the trait's going to be disabled for 3 turns. This is kind of similar to a skill that Dragar has. It's just that Dragar does less damage with the attack and has a stun on the end, which kind of makes it more useful. But this is very good for deactivating tanks, right? You're taking the positive status effect off, but some of them, Centurion, will actually have the Mega Taunting in his trait. Well, this is going to disable it right here. So this is also a way of getting past somebody who's got evade or something like that. So very, very, very strong skills. But I am going to get him to rank 1, so he's going to be getting that skill. And he's also going to get the status cast for magic weakness. All right, let's check out his stats at level 60. His strength is, yes, very, very good. His life is very good. His speed, pretty darn good. You could get him going really fast, but, you're going to put damage on this guy. You might put some support speed on him. You might want to go with a regular speed here, because I could also see justification, maybe if you wanted to put 2, to get him to go really fast, because it is a matter of triple damage and magic weakness hater. So do you need the extra power? I don't know. That's a good question. You might want to experiment with that. Myself, I'm thinking 2 damages and a speed for him. That's what I'm thinking about now. I may change my mind. At the moment, I have 2 lock ruin slots, so I really can't do that. So I have lots of time to think about it. All right, let's take a look at the skills that I selected. So we have Monster Knight Master. Deals moderate magic damage to all enemies. Applies curse to all enemies. Now remember, at the moment, he's got this one. Magic Challenge. Applies magic weakness to all enemies. Gives an extra turn to himself. You could use this one to get magic weakness if he's not rank 1. So one way or another, this could hurt a lot more than what you're looking at. So just keep that in mind. And also throwing in curses isn't a bad thing as well. Then we have this one. Infinite Air Strikes. Deals heavy special damage to all enemies. Applies bleed to all enemies. Now this is special damage. It's not going to take advantage of the weakness. But he's very strong. You're going to put damage on him anyway. Strength. Yeah, I mean, this is going to hit hard. Putting bleeding in there is not a bad thing, too. It can have fun with the curse you just put on him before, right? And then we have this one. Over 9,000 balloons. Deals very heavy magic damage to one enemy. Applies bleed to one enemy. We're back to the magic weakness again. This is really going to hurt if the individual has magic weakness. It also helps that this is a 0 cooldown and a 0 stamina. Since he himself cannot be controlled unless you disable his trait, you could activate his cooldowns. You could also take his stamina away. But he could still do this attack if you do that. It's a pretty hard one to get rid of. And as I mentioned previously, we have this one. Applies magic weakness to all enemies. Gives an extra turn to itself. Of course, once you rank him up to rank 1, he is going to do that right out of his trait. So you're probably not going to need that one anymore. And you can put in that wonderful triple damage and magic weakness hater. So he is very strong. He's hugely strong at rank 1. And I do have the cells to do that. And like I said, once the race is done, because I need to keep the lab open for race stuff, right? I am definitely going to rank him up immediately. He's going to be my first Forsaken that I get to rank 1. And of course, he is amazing. So anyway, thank you very much for your attention. I really appreciate it. And play games because games are fun. See you.